If you love pecan pie, you are going to love this recipe. Today, we're making pecan pie cake. Think of that gooey, buttery pecan filling inside a cake. It's delicious served with ice cream. It's 100% from scratch. Let me show you how to make it. Now this cake is just a little bit different in the way you make it. You will bake the cake in 2 parts. Don't get confused. You can do this. Watch closely. Take a small bowl. Into it, add 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Then add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. Take a whisk and whisk those ingredients together. Now take a 1/3 cup measuring cup, scoop out 1/3 cup of that mixture, set it aside. We'll use that for the top part of the cake, and then we're gonna also set this aside and mix together the wet ingredients. So take another bowl. In this bowl, we'll add 1 egg, 2/3 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of oil, and then 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Take a spatula and mix those together. Then we'll take the flour mixture that's still in the bowl and add about 1/2 of that, and then mix it in. And then I have 1/2 cup of milk. I'll add 1/2 of that. When it's almost mixed, you can go ahead and add in the rest of the flour. You want to be careful not to overmix this batter, so there's no need to use a stand mixer or a hand mixer. Just fold the ingredients together with a rubber spatula. And then when that's almost mixed, add the rest of the milk. This cake has 2 cups of chopped pecans in it. So I have 2 cups here. I'm gonna add about 1/2 to this layer. I'm gonna scoop out about 1/2, so 1 cup of chopped pecans, add them into the batter, and just fold that together. And then take an 8x8 baking dish. If you have a 9x9, that will work too. It might take slightly less time to bake, so just watch it carefully, but this is an 8x8 baking dish. I will spray it with cooking spray, and then add this batter to the pan. I have the oven preheated to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. This will bake for 20 minutes, and then we'll add the rest of the cake batter. Make sure that batter is spread evenly. While that part of the cake is baking, we'll go ahead and mix together that pecan pie filling that is gonna give that cake such that ooey, gooey, buttery pecan texture. So take a bowl, and to it add 1 large egg, 1/2 cup of milk, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of melted butter, and then 1/2 cup of light corn syrup. Take a spatula and mix that together. You can also use a whisk if you'd like to make sure that egg yolk gets broken up. Then when that's mixed, go ahead and add in your 1/3 cup of reserved flour mixture and the last 1 cup of chopped pecans. The mixture will be really runny, kind of syrupy, and that's okay. You'll just set this aside, and when your buzzer rings for your cake, you'll pour this over the top. After 20 minutes, bring the cake out of the oven. It is going to be slightly baked around the edges, but still really doughy in the middle, and that's okay. Take your pecan filling, pour it as evenly as possible over the cake. It's gonna sink in a little bit. Some of the cake part might bubble up. It's okay, it will all stay in the pan if your pan is deep enough. Just make sure that's smoothed out. As you can see, the cake is bubbling up here. Perfectly fine. That filling is just gonna bake all around that cake, making it really gooey and delicious. Now we're gonna put it back in the oven for about 45 minutes or until the center of the cake is not jiggly anymore and is set. We love this cake best when it's served fresh from the oven, nice and warm. With all the pecans inside, it can sometimes be hard to get out a very clean slice of cake, but this cake is super moist. It's delicious served in a bowl with fresh whipped cream or a pile of vanilla ice cream on top. I think you're gonna love it. I'm Julie from The Best Cake Recipes. Be sure to visit our site, search for pecan pie cake to print off this recipe. I hope your family loves it this holiday season.